Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over my top 5 sci-fi books of all time, with one honorable mention as well, because why not a little bonus? Just a little heads up here, I'm not a big sci-fi person. I haven't read a lot of sci-fi books, okay? I'm very limited, so if you have any recommendations, please leave them down below. I'd love to receive some. Before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and also to follow me on other social media. They're all going to be linked down below. Okay, great, awesome. Let's get into the video. So I'm gonna start from my least favorite, so number 5, all the way up to number 1, okay? Cool. And then at the end, we're gonna go over the honorable mention. So number 5, we have Cold Wire. So I got this book recently through my Fairy Loot subscription. I was actually pleasantly surprised. It's such a great book. I gave it 5 stars. So keep in mind, this is 5th place. I gave this 5 stars, okay? So in this book, we follow 2 main characters, 2 girls, and they are both in their own missions simultaneously, and we follow those 2 lines of the plot. So in this world, you have the real world and you have a copy of the real world in the virtual world where they have to go, where people go into pods and they log into this virtual world. And the virtual world is beautiful, pristine, everyone's there, it's very modern, it's very bougie, amazing. And the real world is very run down, ravaged by war and poverty, and people just use it as like a temporary place until they can get into the virtual world. The virtual world is where most things happen. And these pods are set up in a way where you can log in for months on end, okay? Like, it is not a problem, and it's where most people live, okay? Our characters, one of them is in the virtual world with her colleague from school, and they are doing their last examination before they graduate from the academy, and they're going on this mission to find this one doctor that has this specific project, and they have to hunt him down and figure out clues and whatever and go and try to find this doctor. In the real world, we have our other main character. She works for the security police enforcers of this country, and she's trying to catch this rebel leader from this very well-known rebel group, and she's hunting him down. So they're going on this mission to try and capture him, and she ends up getting captured herself. Like the dumb cunt gets captured herself, right? And he takes her with him, and they're going on this mission to find these 3 specific pieces for this powerful machine, whatever, weapon, whatever, right? So she's helping him get those 3 pieces while trying to capture him at the same time, and he's trying to convert her to his side all at the same time. The sci-fi aspect on this one is a bit smoother. Because it's very much a dystopian kind of reality, but with a lot of sci-fi, with the virtual world and a lot of technological advances, and the sci-fi is more in that aspect. It's a very interesting story. It has a really nice plot twist where I already suspected there was going to be a twist. I didn't catch it. I didn't catch this twist, and I usually catch twists very easily. I did not catch this one. It's such a good, incredible book, and it makes you rethink the entire story. It's such a whirlwind. It's such a great book. Number 4, we have Heaven Breaker. This is a very unique sci-fi, at least for me. Again, not a great avid reader of sci-fi, but this is a mecha sci-fi, guys. Yes, a mecha sci-fi. So in this world, basically humans were left Earth, and they were in the space station that kind of divided, and parts of the station were thrown into different parts of the universe. And so they're very isolated, right? The humans are very isolated where they are. And in this space station, you have the noble house and everything. They're in the higher levels of the space station, and the lower levels are for the more impoverished people, right? So this girl is a survivor of an assassination. Unfortunately, her mom was not a survivor. Now she's seeking revenge for the people that got her mother killed, aka her father, because she's an illegitimate heir for one of the noble houses. So she goes after it. So the book starts with her basically murdering her father and trying to escape, and the only means of escape she has is jumping into one of these mecha robots and fighting in one of them and running away, right? Turns out this is a very incredibly stupid thing to do, because the risks to your health, you will die if you don't practice enough, but she ends up being a natural at this thing. So when she is finally caught, there's this one guy that goes, hey, you're going to join my house, you're going to fight for me in this competition that's going to happen with these mecha robots, and I'm going to help you seek revenge with all of the other people that are also involved in your mother's murder, because it wasn't just your father. This was a whole family affair. So I'm going to help you seek revenge on them if you fight for me. So this is what she starts to do, right? She goes into this competition and she fights for him, but also for revenge for her mother. And we see her practice and train in these robots and how the robots work, how the mechanics work, how the politics of this world work as well. Her revenge, the other characters, the fights, everything is just so incredibly cool and so fun. A lot of the times with this type of book, when there's multiple fights, some of the fights end up being boring or just very underwhelming. In this book, that doesn't happen. Every single fight is important in a different way and has a different resolution, and she isn't guaranteed to win at all. It's not one of those things where it's always going to have a happy ending. This is not guaranteed in this book at all, and it's done it in such an amazing way. It's gonna have another book. There's part 2 coming, so I am so excited to read the second book. Okay, I think it comes out this year if I'm not mistaken, so I'm very excited for that. And it's just a really incredible book. So if you like mecha style stuff, so go to this. It's such a good one. In third place, we have Crown Chasers. And in this book, we follow this girl. She was a princess for the royal family, like the ruler's royal family, right? And she ran away from her duties as a princess, and she has been running around like a pirate, basically, with her spaceship, okay? And she's the captain of this spaceship, and she's been free for a couple of years and whatever, and her uncle, he dies. And every time a king dies, a crown chase is set up. So there's this sigil, right, that is hidden somewhere in the galaxy, and every noble family has to participate in this crown chasing event. Each family selects a champion to go into this race with them, and the first person to catch that sigil becomes the king or queen of this galaxy or whatever it is, right? So she is now recruited in. Now she has to go and represent her family because she's the only one that can, and she doesn't want to do this, but she ends up going. Okay, I guess I'll go. Her and all of the other kids from all of these families, so they all know each other, they have history together, and they go into this chase for that thing, right? It becomes a lot more deadly than they're anticipating because there's a third party here that is attacking them and killing them. So now it's a fight for survival, but also to save the galaxy, because you can't let these people take over and rule, right? So now you have to figure that out. There's a lot of politics involved. There's a lot of plot twists. It's such a good, incredible book. The one thing I will say about this is that it took me a while to get used to it, because our main character's POV is written as a captain's log. So it's written in a very specific way, because it's written as if it's her telling her diary, doing her little diary entry. So it might take you a little while to get used to it. All the other POVs, when they occasionally do happen, are normal, but hers is a little bit quirky. And as the books go on, they become less quirky because she matures a bit and she becomes more responsible, so they also mature a bit. But it is a stylistic option that took me a while to get used to. It actually gave me the ick initially, but I powered through it, and it was so worth it, and I love the series now so much. So yeah, keep that in mind. Give it a chance, even if it makes you cringe a little bit, because it made me cringe. But it's so worth it. The story is amazing and I love it. Hence why it's number 3. Now, I will say number 2 and number 1 are kind of hard, because sometimes I feel like this is number 1. Sometimes I feel like number 1 is number 1. So it's hard, okay? So just bear that in mind. But number 2 is the Aurora Cycle. And this is a YA sci-fi fantasy where we follow this group of misfits that band together in this space academy, and they now have to go on and do missions in space, right? But one of these misfits is actually a girl that they found in a spaceship abandoned in the middle of nowhere. Turns out she was actually in the spaceship for hundreds and hundreds of years. No one knows what happened. That spaceship disappeared long ago, and now she just pops up and she has magical abilities, and no one really understands what's happening or what happened to her. None of it, right? So they also have to figure out what happened to her, what are her powers, how do we control this, what is going on. In one of these missions, they go into one of the planets, and it turns out, right, that there's actually this thing happening and affecting the entire universe. And now they have to figure out a way to solve it, to save the people. You never know who is part of this thing. And now they have to figure that out. It also gets all mixed in. There's a lot of politics involved. There's a lot of plot twists. And the main plot twist of this story is at the end, right at the 3rd book. And it's such an amazing plot twist. It's just, all of it comes together in a way that is just unimaginable. And There's a lot of powers, there's family drama, there is relationships between the characters, because of course it's YA, you have to have a little bit of romance in the middle of that. There's just so much. It has so much depth. I was engrossed into this, sucked into it in a way that I can't even begin to explain. It's just so fucking amazing. It's hard for me to give you a full explanation because I will give you spoilers, but it is a very interesting like concept and world, and also like it's the crew. You fall in love with the crew, okay? You fall in love with every single one of these guys, with every single one of our misfits in various different ways, and you get so involved in them and you love them so much, and there's heartache and there's heartbreak, and it's a whole thing. So one of my favorites of all time. Lastly, we have number one, and here's the thing, like I said, this changes between this one and Aurora Cycle, but we have Limit by Frank something, okay? This is a very specific sci-fi, and I don't even know how to explain it fully. So I'm going to ask you to go out and search for the blurb and really research it, because it's hard to tell you what it's about without spoiling it for you, right? But this basically is supposed to happen in the future. This was written years ago. The future has now passed. It was like 2025, so we're already in the future, but it's a very different reality, and how they saw that technology would advance and how humanity would advance with it. And there's a lot of technological advances. And in this book, we follow multiple perspectives, right? But the two main ones are a space station and a police officer. So the police officer is investigating a few crimes and murders that have been happening in China, but also unraveling kind of this bigger plot and this bigger, like, attempt on more important figures' lives, right? This bigger, gigantic plot. And he goes into the crevices of humanity, into these really weird places, and the view, his scene and the way the world is in his POV is very interesting. And he's really going into the nitty-gritty of this, like, of these murders and of this mystery that he's investigating. And on the other side, you have the space station that is being built. So you have like the moon, right? But you have the space station that is basically like an elevator into a space station that is fixed onto the Earth at all times. So there's this one point in the Earth that is always the same. You'll always stay lined up with the Earth. So they're building an elevator into the space station, and then you stay in that space station, right? It's a whole thing. And so they are going to, and it's a hotel up there. And so you have a group of these very internationally known people, rich people, people from their various different like areas of life and various different like things. Like you have politicians, you have people that develop really specific technology, you have famous people, you have like clothing developers that would like nano clothing and things like that, like very important people that go into this hotel and they're going to experience it for the first time, and shit hits the fan because you have all these important people in one place. It's the perfect place to murder them, right? And to make an attempt on their lives, right? So shit just hits the fan from there, and it's just an incredible sci-fi murder mystery. It's just incredible. It's just an incredible sci-fi. It's also the biggest book I've ever read in my entire life. It is humongous, so be prepared for that, but it's just worth every single second that you spend on it. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing read. That's why it's my number one, because it's, in terms of complexity, in terms of the sci-fi-ness of it, it is definitely top one. But in terms of like me connecting more to the characters, the Aurora Cycle is definitely my favorite. So these two, kind of interchangeable between them, okay? Number one, number two. And now into our honorable mention, and I feel kind of coerced into this, to be honest with you. I feel like a little bit of peer pressure, but I also think it's worth mentioning, and it is Red Rising. Now, I have a vlog if you want to see my thoughts and my experience reading it, okay? I only read the main trilogy so far. This one is kind of bittersweet for me because it was such an incredible experience, but at the same time, I didn't feel the trauma the same way other people were feeling the trauma with this book. I didn't connect with it. I didn't connect with the main character that much to feel it as much as maybe other people felt. And that's why I feel a little bit coerced, because I know some people really feel this really deeply, but I didn't. But at the same time, it's still a really good sci-fi. And if you like strategic and politics in your sci-fis, this is a very good series for you. If you want more of a romance, development of a romance thing in the book, no, that is not the thing here. A lot of people can argue that this is basically romance because it's all done in the name of love, but you don't actually have romance on the page, right? So I like the story a lot, but at the same time, I couldn't connect with the character that much, with the main character. And also, I felt like I wasn't expecting it to be the way it was, and there were parts of the story that I would have liked to see that I didn't get to see on page. So it's a very bittersweet series for me, but I wanted to mention it because I do know that some people love it so incredibly much, and then for me it's just like I'm very on the fence with it. I can't decide if I like it or if I hate it. Like I really genuinely cannot decide how I feel about the series yet, hence why I haven't finished it and I haven't read the rest. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave your suggestions down below. I'd love to get some recommendations because again, I want to read more sci-fi. And I hope you all enjoyed this video, this tiny little video, and I will see you guys next week for another video. Bye!